We're gonna finish up your clay snowman today. So I'm gonna give you one piece of clay. You got your water, you got your snowman, this paper behind it. I am gonna give you this for cleanup. So please don't get this paper towel dirty because this is gonna be used to clean your hands after we wash them. You'll dry them with this and then use this to clean your spot. So here, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna start here with my scarf. So I'm just gonna take a little piece off of this. You can take your finger and put a drop of water on it, roll it up, and roll it out a little bit into a line. If you take this line and you bend it like a number 7, and you always need to put a drop of water on it. That works like your glue to make them stick together. So here I'm gonna make that, and it'll help stick it together. This is when the water mixes with clay, it's called slip, and that helps it stick together. Then I'm gonna take another piece of clay. I'm just gonna roll up a little piece. I'm gonna make a couple balls of clay. These are gonna turn into my buttons. So now that I have those made, then I can take this and put a drop of water right there. We'll stick these on. So just press them down a little bit, and then I'm gonna push this down. I would never take the clay and push it to the table because it will get stuck. We also want to keep our tables pretty clean. The only thing that I would do on the table is if I am rolling out a line. So this line here could be used to make a belt. I'm just gonna put a little bit of water here, stick on my belt. Once I have my belt on, I'll take a ball of clay. We'll make some boots a minute. Roll that up. Make 2. They don't have to be exactly the same size. It's kind of fun to have a little bit of variation. So here, got 2 balls of clay. Put a little bit of water on here. Stick those boots on. I don't want to pinch them too much because sometimes people pinch them and then they get really thin and then they tend to break off. So you just want to stick those on. Now I'm going to make some arms. So I'm going to take a piece of clay. I'm going to roll this big enough. So roll out a little ball of clay, but I'm going to roll out a line that's long enough that I can get 2 arms. So I'm going to roll this out, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to break it into 2 pieces. Something I don't want to do is have them sticking off the sides. So I'm going to keep it on the snowman and on this rectangle. So I could have my arms down, I could have them up, have 1 down, 1 up. I think I might do 1 down, 1 up like he's waving. So we'll put 1 up here, okay? I also want to make sure that his hands are not going to get cold. So we'll put some mittens on here. So using the same idea, just roll another ball of clay to make a mitten. And then we'll roll up another ball of clay to make the other mitten. When you're done making all of your parts, then, and they're all stuck on with a drop of water, then we get to do my favorite part. I'm going to give you some special tools, and we're going to use these special tools to put something called texture on it, some design. So you're going to get 1 stick, and you're going to get a tool. The main thing is that it has this zigzag line on it. Some of them, the other end has a straight line. Some of them might have a zigzag line but then have a curved line. Some of them might be a zigzag line like this and it has more like a spoon shape on it. It doesn't really matter which kind you get because the main thing is that we're going to be using this zigzag side for some snowflakes. This stick can be used in 2 ways. One, if I use this pointy side, it makes some very tiny dots. But if you use the other side, it makes a bigger dot. And you can see I'm just kind of taking it and twisting it. If you do dots, you want to be very, very, very gentle. You do not want to poke this clay. This clay is soft. So I could put some dots on my buttons. Maybe I'm gonna put a dot on my hat. Maybe I'm gonna put a belt buckle. So this can be used to create dots. The other tool, this one, if you use the flat side or the scoop side, it makes more of a line. Where if I use the side that has a zigzag line, it makes kind of a broken or a dashed line. So I might just flip it back and forth so then I'm getting straight, broken, straight, broken. This broken line also does a cool job doing things like grippers for boots. And I could put maybe some lines on my mittens. Please be very gentle. Now, once you're done putting some designs on your snowman, then you can put some snowflakes in the background. I would not do more than 5. 4 or 5 is enough. So I'm gonna do kind of an X like this, and then I'm gonna put a line down the middle. Okay, then I'm gonna do an X, and then I'm gonna put a line down the middle. Then I'm gonna do an X and put a line down the middle. Continuing to be very gentle. We'll do an X here, put a line down the middle. Sometimes I think it's fun to put a little tiny snowflake on his hat too. If your tool gets some clay on it, I just wipe it off with my fingers to make sure that it doesn't get all clogged up. The last thing I like to do is to use this stick and make some snow hills. We talked about how we can have some snowy lines, so I'm just gonna do some curved lines. Students often forget this part, so just add some curvy lines, or I like to add like a little bit of wind to my sky just with like some loops or something. Could be fun. Okay. Now, most of you will get done early. So if you get done early, I want you to put your name tag back on the top, move it over, and then you can use this to make anything else you would like to for fun. So we talked about snowflakes, sleds, houses, trees. So you can take this extra clay, roll up a ball of clay, roll out some lines. Last week I kind of showed about making snowflakes. Maybe today I'll make a tree or something. So just take this extra clay, and you can take it and build some other things. So please do not tell me you're done. If you tell me you're done, I'm gonna say, well, keep adding things, making ideas. And you can see here I've got kind of like a pine tree. Do a little trunk to it. Then maybe I could put like a snow fort and somebody sledding down, and just keep building and adding ideas. Cleanup will look like this. Use your bigger piece to kind of pick it up like a stamp. Then don't smush it into the cup, set it next to the cup. You can also put your tools next to it. I'll come pick up all of that stuff. And then I will call kids that have their spot nice and neat to go wash their hands. When you go to wash your hands, I will put a little bit of water on your hands. I'll put some soap so you can start rubbing your hands together. And then you can go over to the sink, you'll rinse your hands, you'll go back to your spot so you can see my hands. That was quick. I rinsed them after I soaped them. You'll use this to dry them off, and then I hopefully will have picked up your tools and your clay, but I will most likely leave your water cup. This is already wet from drying my hands, so I can take this and wipe off my spot. If it's not cleaning very well, you can pour just like a little bit, but you don't need to pour it all out because it'll make a big mess, but just like a little bit, and you can use this to wipe and clean your spot after you dried your hands. Then you can take this and throw it away, and please remember to do heads down, lips zipped. We're not talking to a friend, we're not walking around, spot's clean and quiet. Let's have fun.